Sport has the power to build strength and confidence, heal, inspire, and bring communities together. This is Level Playing Field.
Hello and welcome back to Level Playing Field. I'm your host, Greg Westlake. Great coaches can make or break a sport experience for new athletes and push the elite to the next level. They balance fun and work to create a healthy and safe learning environment. Today, we highlight two people striving to do just that. First up, we head to a track in North Toronto where able-bodied and para-athletes train side by side.
Okay, that's good. Let's go high knees. High knees, take your time. Okay, now run it out.
This may sound like an intense workout, but for the IB Fast Track Club, it's just another Saturday morning, training outside at the Danzu Park track in North Toronto.
I get on the track. I am responsible for my own self. Frankly, it's not like any other team sport where I have to rely on anyone else. It's me, and I am in control, and that's really nice, being like visually impaired.
At 17 years old, Monica Gurn is in the early stages of her athletic career, which is why she is so happy to have the guidance of her coach and founder of the club, Craig Blackman.
So it's like boom, 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 but straight underneath you and down.
He's our coach, but he's really more like a parent to us. But like calls us every day if we're sick, you know, he knows, he cares, and he's always telling us like, yes, I'm your coach, but I also have to look at your life in total, and he is a really good person to give advice.
You guys should be proud of yourself.
Let's say sporting in that exact moment is not the best for your athlete, you have to say no. And I'm lucky enough that he has no issue doing that.
Yeah. So I think let's do a second round too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
I think a really big part of our relationship was just trust.
One of the reasons Craig has had such an impact with Monica is his vast experience building trust with para-athletes. Craig has worked with people from a variety of classifications, including many like Monica, who are partially sighted in his many years of coaching.
Okay, let's go.
First of all, I would just introduce the kids. You know, I'd say, this is George, or this is whatever, and this is what we're gonna do. And I wouldn't make any mention of, by the way, do you notice that they have a disability? I just pretended I didn't notice, and we just went about our business, right? But because that was my attitude, that became everybody's attitude, and so it wasn't a big deal. It's not hard, you know, we have to make some, you know, some adjustments, but not lots.
Just to about, 5 meters, and then you just...
Being willing to make adjustments has been a hallmark of Craig's coaching career from the start. Initially, he had to adjust to the idea of coaching at all, reluctant to take on the job until his daughter and a friend's children were in dire need of some help.
3 of her kids and mine went to this guy to do practice, and he decided he was retiring. I said, fine, I'll cave, I'll be a coach. I was surprised at how much I knew and that I liked it. It was just supposed to be those 4. That was it. And then it grew.
You guys, do you have one more 250, the guys?
Close to 3 decades and no signs of slowing down because Craig's love of track is deep-rooted. Long before he started IB Fast, he was living his own glory days on the track. From a scholarship to the University of Oregon to representing Canada at the Munich Olympics, he has a wealth of experience to draw on.
I think part of what happens is that when they know you're an Olympian, they pay more attention. You're not just some guy who coached somewhere sometime. No, you've been there, done that, right? And so that's one of the things I could bring to them. I'd say, this is what it's going to be like.
That lived experience has benefited over 200 athletes during his 30 years as a coach. Up-and-coming athletes like Monica. And also, athletes closer to their Paralympic dream, like George Corku.
Set.
George is really a go-getter, even from when we first met him. He's very athletic in any case. He's very strong. He has no fear, like at all, no fear of anything. And plus, he's very smart as well. And so he wanted to hear, what did I have to offer him? So, whatever he could suck out of the air in information, he wanted to take that in, and that's part of why he's so liked and why he's done so well. Because he wants to be involved and he wants to learn.
So you good? Yeah. All right.
When I think of coaches, right, I think of them being strict. I think of them being very you know, military style type of atmosphere, right? When it's down to business, it's down to business. Everybody got to get on their game and get it going, right? But you know, Craig is super laid back. You know, we joke around with Craig. Me specifically, I'm always bothering him. You know, we always going back and forth, trying to wrestle each other, so on and so forth. And it creates a trusting, loving atmosphere. He brings up to the chat, like to the whole team, that I don't know, I don't think I could ever find anywhere else, right? And it's just his personality is what brings our team sort of like together.
Okay, so everybody ready?
What really made me gravitate towards Craig is, you know, I don't have a coach slash, you know, athlete relationship with Craig. He's more like a father to me, right? And that's what I really, really like about him. Anything, like, it doesn't have to be track related. I can call Craig for anything in life. He will always be there for me, supporting me through, like, you know, hard times, all of that, right? And that's what really makes me, you know, stick to Craig and, you know, train with him for as many years as I've been training with him now.
Developing that type of trust and respect can be hard to build for a coach. But for Craig, it seems to come naturally. What he has found difficult is developing fast enough guides for world-class sprinters like George.
And I remember him going with the school one time to one of the meets. It's the second time I saw him run. And he was supposed to be running with this teacher. And after like 5 meters, he was gone. And I was terrified to watch. And he managed to make it all the way down. And it was like, wow, he's good. We got to find something, because he's not going to be able to do this. He doesn't even know that he's moved over 2 lanes, you know?
Man, like, the guide is everything. Because, I mean, I'm putting all my trust in him, right?
More to come on Level Playing Field. Welcome back to Level Playing Field.
Sport Explained. 100 meters with a guide. The 100-meter race is the most electrifying 10 seconds in sports. The 100 meters, or 100-meter dash, is a sprint-style race and the shortest distance contested at both the Paralympics and Olympics. On a 400-meter oval track, athletes line up in 6 to 8 lanes down the 100-meter straightaway. The race begins with the firing of a starter's pistol and ends when each athlete crosses the finish line. At the Tokyo Paralympics, medals were awarded in 3 visual impaired categories: T11, T12, and T13. Guides are allowed in 2 of 3 VI classifications. Athletes with very low or no vision in the T11 category must use a guide, and the T12 runners have the option to use one or not. With a guide to the athlete's side, the pair is bound by a tether, 18 to 30 inches in length. The tether must be attached to the arm or the hand of each, forcing them to run in tandem. The athlete can choose a guide of any gender to accompany them in training and racing, acting as an extension of the athlete. However, the guide cannot finish before the runner and is not allowed to push or pull the athlete at any point of the race to gain an advantage. In the event the athlete starts to fall or lose footing, the guide can assist the runner to regain their balance and re-establish orientation during the race. Having a guide on the track limits the number of athletes per heat. A T11 or T12 race ranges from 3 to 4 athletes per heat, with athletes often reaching speeds over 32 kilometers per hour in their races. Now you're ready to blast off the blocks.
As a coach of both para and non-para athletes, Craig Blackman has faced some unique challenges running the IB Fast Track Club. One of his toughest to overcome is finding guides for the blind or partially sighted sprinters, like George Corku.
We are still hoping that he would make the Worlds. I certainly think he can do Paralympics, right? He's ready. We just have to get a guide now that can consistently do stuff, which we get that. There's no reason he shouldn't make the team.
Not only does Craig need to find a sprinter that's a little faster than George, he needs to find someone who gels with him on a personal level.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, man? Good morning. I'm good. I'm good. What you doing? All right? Good. You rolling out?
With all the guys that I have in the past, we always have this bond, right? Like, we're friends before track. Like, friends comes before track, right? Well, obviously, they have to also be faster than I am to help me get to the next level. Creating a great bond, relationship with your guy, sets the tone to how successful you are in your sport.
France John, called country by teammates and friends, returned to IB Fast for one reason: to fill the guide role for George.
Because track and field is an individual sport, right? But with George, it's more like a team now, right? So I like that aspect of it, right? It's like, okay, all right, me and you are gonna go somewhere together. Me and you got goals together. Me and you are gonna accomplish together. So I love it.
Leave it there. How's that? Yeah, leave it there. That may give you more.
And we just clicked right away. So yeah, that was good because that's essential too when you're running. You gotta have that bond. If you don't, then it's all for naught. Yeah, George's already the Canadian record holder for the 1 and the 2, so he's already on his way. So it's my job to make sure that, I keep him on that path and go further. So I like it. I love the challenge. I love it. I love it. This is why I came back, because I'm like, it sounds good. So I'm here. I'm ready. Work is hard. George was killing me with those workouts earlier, so I gotta definitely get my abs right and make sure I keep up with him. Trust me, for sure, 100%.
Come on, Country.
Country touches on another area Craig has helped George: embracing a leadership role in the club, leading workouts.
Stop.
I really can't.
And then we're gonna go the other way. Ready?
Come on, George.
But also recruiting new members like his friend Kia Osborne.
I think it's a natural fit because he has the training, he has the background, the passion, the personality. He has all the qualifications to be a leader.
Kia joined the club on George's advice, just to improve her fitness and learn proper technique for sprinting. What she found was a family-type environment, with Craig at the head.
I really, really love the club. I'm very surprised because I think I even told George, I go, are you surprised I've gotten this far? He said, yeah, I thought you were gonna quit. And I said, honestly, there were a few times I wanted to quit, but I can honestly say I'm hooked. It's a great environment. The teammates that I've met on the team, wonderful athletes. They're going to go really far when it comes to the sport. And Craig, he has such a passion and commitment to all of them, all of us.
That positive environment Craig has fostered has also attracted another world-class coach, Faye Blackwood.
If you're not having fun, then why bother? So I mean, he's always, joking around with all the athletes and stuff, but in a good way to show that, he's supportive of them. But they're here to have fun, and if they're not having fun, then they're not going to progress through the system. It's got to be fun, or what's the point? Good job, guys.
But there is a lot of hard work too.
Coach, or I affectionately call him Coach Kill, because he doesn't care. I can tell Craig, everything hurts. He's like, oh, suck it up, you got to do it. I'm like, I'm tired, suck it up, you got to do it. And I get it, you have to push through that pain, the mental exhaustion, because that's how you get better. But he's still a killer.
Come on, guys, let's go!
Despite him constantly pushing his athletes, Monica points out there is something special about Craig and IB Fast.
I met some other coaches, and there were some opportunities that were given to me, and I was talking about it to Craig, and I was like, I don't know, and then I just saw the way there were other dynamics with their athletes and their coaches, and I realized this is the club for me. I don't want to leave, and that was the moment I knew no, this is home for a long time to go. I'm not leaving.
And she's not the only one who feels that way.
When he sees talents, he wants to take that talent and then transform it into something even bigger. So Coach Craig or anything, I call him Papa Craig because that's what he means to me. Right? I've created a bond and a trusting relationship with him that I don't know. I don't think I can ever with any other coach but Craig.
The way Craig builds his athletes up not only helps them as competitors, but serves them in their everyday lives as well, the hallmark of a truly great coach. The coach in our next story shares a lot of Craig's best traits, most notably their desire to build an inclusive program where no athlete feels left behind. Stay with us, because after the break, we hit the court for pickleball.
Stay tuned for more Level Playing Field. Welcome back to Level Playing Field with Greg Westlake.
It's been called the fastest growing sport in North America. Still very few people know its name, but in the last 5 years, pickleball has taken over gyms, tennis courts, and community centers across Canada. One coach east of Toronto is doing everything in his power to ensure that as the sport grows, it is as inclusive as possible.
So I learned some sport from actually at the Ability Center. I came in, I was walking the track, and I saw it being played, and I'm like, oh, that's very an interesting sport. Then they introduced me to Alex, and then we started talking, and then he's like, would you like to try and play? And I'm like, sure. I sucked at first. I was terrible, but I got hooked.
One of the reasons Amanda Power, who uses a wheelchair, got hooked on pickleball is the simplicity of the sport. Use your paddle to hit the wiffle ball over the net, back to the opponent's side of the court. The other reason she knew pickleball was for her is the coach who runs the program at the Ability Center in Whitby, Ontario.
Nice.
Alex Stoikov. He focuses on the fun and fundamentals when introducing new people to the game.
Pickleball is a combination of a few racket sports. I would mention badminton, table tennis, or tennis. It's played on badminton-sized court. A lot of people are referring to pickleball as mini tennis. It's played in doubles and singles, and the game itself is very easy to pick up.
While it shares similarities with many racket and paddle sports, there is one way it sets itself apart.
The sport itself is probably the most inclusive sport out there. This is probably the only sport that I know where able-bodied players can play with the disabled people or people in a wheelchair in the same tournament. And you can't see that very often anywhere else.
Alex, who competed and coached in tennis before moving to pickleball, believes so strongly in the inclusive nature of the sport, he jumped at the opportunity.
We have to move this way a little bit, go over the ball, try to do this topspin, try not to be too stiff.
Mixed ability sport challenges the way we think about sport. So we want to break down the barriers to participation and make sure that people of all ages, abilities, backgrounds have the opportunity to join and participate in sport in mainstream settings. What we want to do is work with existing clubs, facilities, community groups to change their philosophy on sport participation and advocate for people from marginalized communities, for people with disabilities, to have autonomy over where they participate in sport. And the whole concept of this is working towards broader social inclusion. So how do we use sport to show society how we can change for the broader good?
Kelly Casper is the Director of Sport and Recreation at the Ability Center, which partnered with International Mixed Ability Sports to become the exclusive developers and delivery agents for mixed ability sport in Canada. Kelly says a huge part of making this unique model successful is finding the right coach to guide the group.
Yes, perfect shot, each one of them. Yes, nice. Here you go. That's really good. All right, your turn.
Alex is a great coach. I think bringing him into the program changed it overnight. I think having someone that's experienced in the sport to lead player development, to manage gameplay, and he's very versatile in his delivery. So understanding how to keep a high-performance pickleball athlete engaged and involved in drills and competition at the same time as welcoming someone new to the sport and making sure that they understand the rules and how to set them up for success so that they're confident and want to return. I think he's also been a great advocate for para pickleball. So when you're sitting in those spaces, when you've got this comprehensive look at inclusion and really having the needs of your athletes at the center of your decision making, that's where true change happens.
Last 4, you did phenomenal.
Like Kelly, Amanda feels lucky to have Alex running the program.
Nice.
Very supportive, very funny. He always makes me laugh no matter what. Even if I'm having a very bad day and it's a pickleball night, he will grab the basket of balls and just we just start doing smashes every time until I'm basically laughing my butt off and just, okay, we're good to go.
Beautiful. That's the biggest reward that you can actually get. You can see those smiles and people are happy playing pickleball. I mean, what else can you ask for?
Pickleball looks like a lot of fun, and Alex's program at the Ability Center seems like the ideal setting to learn the sport and have a few laughs. Both the coaches we highlighted strike a great balance between hard work and play, which breeds happy, healthier athletes. No matter your sport, find a coach that can do the same for you as I found in my life. That's all the time we have for now. I'm Greg Westlake. Thanks for being with us.
Host Greg Westlake, producer Ted Cooper, associate producer Alex Smythe, director of photography Matthew McGurk, videographer Jay Kemp, senior editor Matthew McGurk, editors Manuel Grados Andrade, Daniel Waldman, writer Sport Explained Nathan Clement, audio post Mike Monson, media accessibility specialist Ron Rickford, graphics Mike Smith, Andrew Antonello, senior producer Michelle Dudas, president and CEO David Arrington. Copyright 2022, Accessible Media Inc.